Hey everybody, this is your man Tyke coming to you with another true spook story. Now before I begin, let me ask that you hit that like button. Go and subscribe to this channel and share me if you're feeling the content. Go and share me now. Small thing to do. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, so today we're gonna talk about Cabbage Patch Kids. I can't put it in the label because I don't want to be copyrighted or struck. But to tell you the truth, when I was growing up, these were some creepy ass little dolls. And the story I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna give you dates, I'm gonna give you locations. It is what it is. I got a deal. So now, back in I had to be 84, 85, 86. I had to be about 11, 12 years old when this story took place. My mama, no, it was 84. It was 84. My mama was just coming off drugs. She was addicted to crack cocaine and she had found Jesus and shit. And she was just coming off drugs. And she was into the church. So we had went to this yard sale they was having over there off of Willie Mays Parkway. An old lady was having a yard sale off Willie Mays Parkway in Orlando, Florida. So, you know, being off drugs, mama trying to get her life together and shit. We was a charity case. It is what it is. So everybody like, hey, Pat, take these kids over there to the yard sale, get some of them free stuff, get some of them toys for Christmas. You ain't got no toys, all that stuff. So, my mom like, okay. So we loaded up in my grandma's car, and grandma, she went over there with us. And grandma when we picked up an item, grandma would be like, nah, put that back, not that. Nah, put that back, not that. So grandma kept on telling us what to take, what not to take, because grandma was like using her spiritual eye. She was like, some shit can have a hank on it, some shit can have a curse on it. And grandma was protecting us best we can, but then again, mama, Trump tight. So my mama was like arguing with grandma saying, let the kids get what they want, let the kids get what they want, yada, yada, whoop, whoop. So grandma was like, okay, now, bitch. Okay, now, you little bitch, I'm trying to protect your kid. But if you don't think that I'm smart enough to know that some of this shit in this old bitch house is bad for your kids, then let them get it. Don't call me when they get to fucking up and killing each other. So my mama like, Mama, I'm in the church now. Stop all that. I believe in Jesus. Jesus gonna protect me. Jesus, 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 Jesus. Grandma yelled that. Ain't nobody got time for that. And I kid you not, first time I heard that shit. So grandma say, well, I'm going to the car. Y'all do what the fuck y'all want to do. So my mama allowed everybody to pick a toy. I picked up a little plastic gun and shit. I think it was a wooden gun. It didn't have no moving parts. So yeah, it was a little wooden carving of a gun. I picked that bitch up and now I'm Smokey. I'm Smokey Thunder around that bit. Cause I was real dark. My oldest sister, she picked up some curling irons and some hair berets and shit like that. Cause she was into getting her hair done and shit. She was girly. My brother, he didn't want nothing, but then he picked up a BB gun. Started him on his criminal motherfucking way there. But my sister, my middle sister, the baby wasn't born yet. My baby sister wasn't born yet. My middle sister, she picked up a Cabbage Patch doll. And the lady who she was, and it was an old black lady now, not no white woman. She walked up to my sister and she was like, that's a special doll. I had that doll for a long time. I had that doll for a long time. Oh my God, that doll got history, we got memory. Take care of that doll, it'll take care of you. And my sister, she was trying to be respectful, a little buck too fast back in the day before she got cute. And yes, ma'am. So my sister was loving on the doll, hugging on the doll. They hid the doll because grandma always say never take a doll from a yard sale unless it's one of them antique motherfuckers you sit on your whatnot shelf and shit, like the ballerina crystal dolls from China, and them bitches decorated like court jesters and Chinese geishas. You could take them, but don't take no Barbie dolls from nobody. Don't take no Cabbage Patch dolls. Don't take no any kind of doll, not even a little baby piss a lot or baby cry a lot, blinking the eyes and shit. Grandma was adamant that those things were demonic. So my sister took it, put it in a book bag, drove it home. Oh boy, this is where the shit gets started. So all of a sudden, crazy shit started happening, right? My sister, she just started getting sexuality. I don't know if I'm saying the motherfucking word right, but y'all feeling me. She was hypersexualized and shit. She kept putting on, MC Hammer and shit had started coming out over the years. And she started wearing the 357 tennis skirt with the black shoes and the gold buckles and the polka dotted skirts and shit. So she started getting hypersexualized. Bitch didn't have no type of body on her, just skin and bones, slim chick. And she was getting hypersexualized. She started dating Big PJ and shit. She can't be no more than I had to be 12 at the time, cause she had that dog for some years. I had to be 12 at the time, and she 2 years older than me, so she was about 13, 14. She got hypersexualized, and she was grandma's favorite prior to me now. Y'all hear me? And grandma never taught her any of this magic. So grandma was like, that girl acting different, Pat. And my mom was like, I don't see no difference in her. And grandma was like, it's something there. So grandma, she was keeping a close eye on my sister. She was gonna pick my sister up and have my sister stay the night at her house. And grandma was like, don't bring nothing but your clothes, don't bring none of your toys. Grandma was adamant not to bring shit, but again, my sister would sneak that motherfucking doll in that bag and everything and go to grandma's house, and I'd be sitting over there, and I know she had a doll sleeping with the bitch, cause we had to sleep in the same room on the floor and on the pallet in the guest room. So sister pulled that bitch out the bag and love on it, hug on it and shit like that. So now this where the shit finna get a little creepy, people, and I want y'all guys to rock with me here. And y'all can look this up in the news. Now these articles made news. So as I'm laying down, and I had my pallet, my pillow, and my sister, she had her pallet, her pillow, and we all in the floor, in the room, in the guest room, and she had that dog. So in the middle of the night, around by 2:33 day in the morning, I'm hearing talking. So I open my eyes, cause keep in mind, a bitch got killed in that room. That's the same room Uncle Sean did his thing. So we were creeped out, but grandma always kept the red light bulb on to keep the demons and shit at bay. So I hear talking. So I open my eyes real quiet, didn't move, cause if it was a ghost bitch there, I ain't trying to have the whole fuck with me, get on top of me breathing and spooking me out. So I open my eyes, and I look at my sister, and my sister is literally sitting up having a whole conversation with the little dog, the Cabbage Patch dog. And I'm hearing the dog voice. And the dog voice had kind of like a real soft, mellow voice. And I ain't trying to be racist when I say this, but the only time I heard this voice from older white women, like white women that's 70 years old and shit, with a little thin nasal passages. And I'm gonna try to mimic it the best way I can, so don't get creeped out, y'all. Hey, how you doing? Everything gonna be okay? It's all good. How you feeling? How was your trip to Washington? How are your family? Is your brother safe? And it would breathe like that, y'all. Do you need me to tell you anything? Ask me anything. I can tell you. And my sister would literally reply to the damn thing like, I'm okay. I just wish my daddy was around. I wish my daddy would not be so swimming. And the dog, man, I can't make this shit up. God, I wish my sister was here. The dog told my sister, your daddy, he under the water at the lake. Yup, he under the water at the lake, a little bit away from here. And she like, is he dead? No, he just know how to hold his breath real long. So I'm freaking the fuck out, and I ain't moving at all. I can't wait till the sun daylight break when grandma come in that bitch to wake us up. I'm snitching, nigga, because I heard some shit. So the dog said, well, I'm finna go because I think your brother up. And my sister turned around and she looked at me, and I closed my eyes real quick. Now I'm hearing this shit. They talking. I said, okay. I said, nigga, play dumb, play cool. So my sister come over there and she kicked me like, you up? I ain't go on, girl. Stop. I didn't tell grandma. Oh. And she's like, you better not say nothing. And she was sounding real stern. You know, she was older. So she laid down and went to sleep. So, 7 days in the morning, grandma come wake us up. She got her coffee. She's like, go pour water on my car windshield, because it was cold. Go pour water on my car windshield. Get the frost off now. Turn on the car, heat it up for me. Turn on the defrosters in the window so we can take you home. So my sister, she walk around me 100% looking at me like, nigga, what you gonna say? You gonna say something to grandma? You gonna say something to grandma? And I'm like, bitch, I can't wait to tell grandma on your ass what you did. But I ain't gonna do it now because you may hurt me. So grandma drop off. She get out the car first. She run in the house. She had to use the bathroom. I look at grandma with a look on my face. I said, grandma, she got that damn doll. I said, you told us not to get that doll, and she got that Cabbage Patch. And grandma was like, she got fucking what? I say, she talked to that damn thing. It was talking to her last night, grandma. I say, it told her daddy was underwater. So grandma say, I knew that demonic bitch had something hooked to that motherfucking dog because she was too friendly to give it away. She say, don't worry, when I get off work, I'll motherfucking be back over here. So grandma hauled ass. I'm spooked out because I know she gonna tell my sister. So I tell mama. I say, grandma know she got the dog. What you tell your mama that she got that dog for? What you telling mama my business, taking my business out my house? So my mama knocked me out. Pop, 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 pap, pap, pap. Threw me on the ground and everything. I ran outside, ran to the park, and I'm playing basketball and shit, just waiting on grandma to get off work because I know I'm going to grandma's house at night and I'm finna eat hot dog. So, grandma in her own time, from what what the story told, because this is grandma came back over to the house by 5:30 the next day after she got off work, and grandma was like, hey, Pat, do you know that girl daddy almost drowned in the water the other day? You ain't checking on your baby daddy? You ain't answering the house phone? Because it wasn't no cell phone. Answer your goddamn messages. Sure enough, played the message. He was out fishing and he drowned, and he almost drowned. So the dog was telling my sister in real time what was happening to her daddy. Say, no, he ain't dead. He could hold his breath real long. So her daddy, which I'm not gonna mention because he have a street name that's really prevalent here. Her daddy, he live in the Altamont Springs area. So if I say his name, y'all will know. Everybody over there know it. So her daddy was prevalent, and he developed the community stigma in the hood as being able to hold his breath for a long time, because he was under that water for at least 7-8 minutes before they pulled him up. He was fishing. So, as a kid, in my mind, the imagination was he knew how to walk underwater, and that's how he used to fish, because he loved going fishing. So I said, whoa. So I told grandma what the dog said. My sister told grandma, yeah, she admitted the dog told her that. So grandma looked at my mama and was cursing out like, Pat, this is the dumbest thing you could ever do. Going against my word, all because of fucking Jesus. Fuck Jesus. Jesus ain't let that, Demon ain't stopped that goddamn dog from coaxing your daughter to do shit, telling her shit. You need to get that bitch out of here. So grandma like, where the dog? I'm finna burn it. And I'm gonna say like, my mama talk. So anytime y'all look at it, mama, don't take my baby doll. Don't take my baby doll. She love that doll. That's why I let her keep it. That's why I ain't tell you, because I knew you gonna take her little joy. She's a girl. She need a doll. And grandma like, go to motherfucking what's its old name? Go to motherfucking, I forget the name of the store. Woolworth. Go to motherfucking Woolworth and get her one out the 5 and dime bin or something. Don't never take no doll from no bitch house. I taught y'all better than that. How fucking stupid can you be? You in that goddamn church. So grandma rushed over there to get the doll. My sister yanking the doll away from grandma. Tight, get that goddamn doll or I'm gonna beat your ass. So, oh man, I gotta ride out with these people. I gotta be home with mama and sister. This bitch. I say, grandma, I love you. I say, but hey, it is what it is. Grandma kept me fed, and grandma was the only one nice to me as a kid. So naturally, I go over there. Me and Keena get in the little tussle. Boom, push her on the ground. Get grandma the doll. Grandma take the doll. And for an old lady, grandma darted to her car, jumped in that bitch, and backed that Buick up, hit that motherfucking corner. Them tires was hitting. And she flowed that bitch. Here, I was left to the scene. Everybody looking at me. So I haul ass. I take off running. I go to the basketball court. Bitch, I ain't coming home till 9, 10 o'clock at night. So if you gonna whoop my ass or helping grandmama, I'm going to sleep after. You too damn tired to keep beating my ass all day. So boom. Left. Came home 9, 10 o'clock. Got my ass kicked. Done deal. Grandma come over there. Grandma brought the doll back the next day after work. And grandma had opened the doll up, mutilated the doll like a motherfucker. Now, people, this is real talk. All jokes aside. Grandma came back and say, Pat, do you see what the fuck I'm talking about? Look what's in this doll. And if you know the Cabbage Patch dolls, before they changed up the design, the original dolls had the hard wooden plastic legs and the hard wooden plastic arms. And with the material head, so you can cut it and you can put stuff in it. Grandma opened it up, and I kid you not, man, she found a rusty nail about as long as the torso of the doll. She found a razor blade wrapped in a letter, wrapped in paper with like handwritten, one of them old papers back when paper bags had a little bit of wax film on it. So this bitch was old now, probably from the 30s or something. So grandma say, look at this, a rusty nail in the torso, razor blade with the letter, it's sitting inside the letter of the petition, wrapped up in black thread, sewing thread. And grandma say, this bitch put curses in your house. And you wonder why that baby mistress cycle was so fucking heavy. Why she's sitting up here liking boy. This bitch, the note said that it's to prevent anybody who touching this from having babies and being motherfucking like a woman. It's to stop all that shit. But the bitch who name on here probably dead. Didn't have not one child, and your daughter spirit is fighting what the fuck this doll saying. I told your dumb ass Pat to not bring that shit in here. Y'all stupid motherfucker. I gotta get rid of this. Where that girl? She coming with me. So mama like, you lying, mama? And well, if I'm lying, bitch, I'm flying and I'm dying and I ain't dead yet. Get in the car. So she threw me in the car, threw sister in the car. We go over there to her house. And which is literally around the corner. Go there to her house and she make us get out. She say, boy, dig a hole in the back motherfucking of these apartment. So I ain't had no shovel, so bitch, I'm using a giant spoon from the kitchen. One of the metal thick bitches. I'm digging the hole. Make it about 12 inches like a roller. Stick your hand. And if it come to your elbow, you're good. So I done all that shit. I'm digging that bit. And I made it big enough for the doll to fit. Grandma caned up that motherfucker. Grandma got some roaches. Like she had a jar of roaches in her house. They was dead as fuck because they didn't eat. She just kept roaches. I'm telling y'all how to dispel this shit, so deal with it. Grandma had a jar of roaches. She dumped the dead roaches in the hole. She put some bay leaves. She dropped some cinnamon in that bitch. She threw some Florida water in that bitch to ignite it. She threw some cotton, not from a pillowcase. This was cotton picked from the Georgia fields. I don't know what that was for. Don't ask. She packed all that shit in that hole and she set it ablaze. She doused that baby doll in kerosene, not gasoline, kerosene. She said the kerosene would disinfect it. She threw the razor blade, the letter, the doll, everything in that hole. And once it got the fire hot, and it was probably burning for like 15, 20 minutes. You could see red and white flames and shit. She said, cover it up, bury that shit. So I'm burying the bitch. She took my sister, she threw her in the tub, hit her ass with that ammonia, hit her ass with that lime juice, and hit her ass with a cap full of bleach, and she scrubbed all that stank. Oh man, I could smell the same smell. I'm telling the story right now. I could smell the same smell how my sister smelled after that, like a nice little fresh flowers. And I'm in my studio filming this. That's cool. Thank you, Grandma. And she told my sister, you ain't going back over there for 2 days. You sit your ass here. You out of school. I'll write the letter. So sister couldn't go to school. Grandma kept her there. She couldn't leave the house. Mama couldn't come see her. Don't y'all open my fucking door, not even for your mama. So boom, it was like that. So I'm like, oh boy. So afterwards, my sister stopped wanting to have sex. My sister was like going back to making good grades. She became the Dreamers and Doers from Disney, had that award. So now you would think it was over. It wasn't over. Not by far. So grandmama, while my sister there, after she did the cleaning and killed the spell, grandma put me in the car. And she drive over there and she say, sit in the car with me. She say, ride with me. So I'm riding with grandma. So she go back to where the lady was doing the yard sale. And if I'm not mistaken, the yard sale was on Barkley Avenue. On Barkley Avenue. And where Barkley, you go up Ivy Lane Road. And then, let's say, coming from Old Wintergarden Road, where Booty's Pawn Shop at, you would go up Barkley Road past the project, past the Poke Bean, and you will make a right on the first street you turn on, and there's a kind of like a beigeish yellow house sit right there on Barkley Street, and that's where we had the yard sale at. My godmama, Miss Harriet, lived 2-3 houses away from that. That's how close this shit was. So grandma turned up in that bitch, and grandma, hop out the car, and grandma grabbed her 32, and grandma put it in her purse, and grandma went over there and it's like, you bitch, why did you give my granddaughter that hanked ass motherfucking dog? Bitch, I should kill you where you stand. Who the motherfucking dog belong to? Cause bitch, you gotta set that spirit free. And the lady was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Get out of here. Bitch, do you know who I am? I'm a gunja, bitch. I'm a gunja. Oh, I heard about you. That was my grandbaby you put that shit off on. And grandma, and she was like, well, I ain't do nothing. She selected it. She say, I didn't put it in her hand. She grabbed it. That's how the spell work. Say, you know the game, you old bitch. Who you calling an old bitch, you old bitch? They yelling at each other, cursing each other out. Lady pick up a broomstick, finna get at grandma. Grandma pull out that heat, finna thump on her ass. Bum, bum, bum. So I'm like, oh my God, what's going down? So I jump out the car. And when I jump out the car, I instantly ran in on grandma's side. I instantly ran to the old lady and grabbed the broomstick. Because if she swung at grandma, I knew grandma was going to bust her. But grandma wasn't going to bust her out of the fuck because she ain't owe her no money. So I ran and grabbed the broom. And I'm like, don't hit grandma. I say, grandma, tell her what you told me. So grandma like, now we need to free the bitch who originally died, who owned it. Who was it? So after about another 5-10 minutes, the public done showed up. The lady said it was her granddaughter, and her granddaughter was molested and, essayed a lot, by her daddy and by the kids in the neighborhood when she went to school. So grandma like, okay, give me the bitch name. So the lady wrote down the name. Then grandma say, where you get the doll from and where your daughter? She said the doll came from a place in, like, I want to say Detroit, Michigan. I want to say Detroit, Michigan, because it was a child factory. Because she made it seem like the baby came from a child factory, because this is where all the kids was in an orphanage at. She said this came from the orphanage, and the doll is so old. It was like from 1940s and the 1950s, and it was an old ass Cabbage Patch doll. So grandma was like, you bitch, you let that baby take some shit from an old orphanage where kids done died and been tortured and lonely? You dumb bitch, I wish. She said, but I'm gonna free your granddaughter. And when I free your granddaughter, I'm gonna come back and get my money. The lady like, I don't owe you shit. You gonna pay me, bitch. You gonna pay me. And grandma said, I'll be back. Or I'm gonna put the same curse that was on your granddaughter on you, you dumb bitch. That's for giving it to my granddaughter. The lady was like, shut up, get off my property. So grandma hauled that. So grandma go and she make me undig the hole. And when she undid the hole, grandma had got a petition. She covered it in dragon's blood. And she wrote the girl's name on it like 15, 16, I'm gonna say about 21 times. And she prayed for that lady in that petition. And she balled it up with her right hand, not the left. She didn't use two hands. She crumbled it up with her right hand. And she put it in the fire, and she put it in the fire so close that she said it melted her nails. Like her pedicure, she had got a fingernail job set, and she powdered it in there, and she put it in there because the fire was stoking. That bitch was in underground hot. And so when she put it in there, she say that she could feel the cold air coming off the fire, like the girl's soul was being set free. So about 7 days, grandma go around now, and grandma had me dig up all the shit and put it in a paper bag. And she go around to the lady house and she hand the lady the paper bag with the dirt and the ashes and everything that came out the hole. She say, nah, bitch, you gotta take it to the lake and heal your daughter. Now, let's drive over here to Barkis Park and you gonna dump it in that fucking lake. And grandma put the lady in her car at gunpoint, y'all. Grandma was real. Drove her to Barkis Park at gunpoint, pushed her ass off to the lake, boom. Lady dumped it, lady just boo-hoo crying. Now that was that story. Now that was creepy as fuck. The dog was hypersexualizing fucking people, man, making them do shit, and was finna turn my sister into a sex heathen, so she can get SA'd and shit. But the dog had already had the lady daughter die from the shit because she was getting raped by all kind of men and shit. So grandma saved the day again, but the story don't end there. This is where it finna get a little angry, and I know y'all gonna be a little mad at this particular shit right here, but it is what it is. Y'all gotta deal with this. So grandmama, being who she was, grandma was like, you gonna tell me who you got this dog from? So grandma, the lady told and all that shit, Detroit orphanage out there, grandma literally flies, get on a plane, flies to the fucking orphanage, and grandma buy up about 8 of these dogs because the store was still selling the bitches. It was a toy store next to an orphanage in Detroit that had closed down. And grandma say, why is all these babies trapped in these dogs? Grandma bought up like 7 other babies that were trapped in there. Now keep in mind, these wasn't black children. These was Caucasian children because grandma loved children. She loved fucking children. Black, white, don't matter. You a baby, she love you. And grandma bought up as much as she can with her own money. She put them in storage. She got back on the plane. They got here. And I was out there burying shit, digging holes for 7 dogs. And grandma didn't know their name. And she was just doing everything she can. My grandma got real sick after that. My grandma got real sick. And her hair fell out. But it grew back, but she never let it grow long. She always had a short afro. And that was a spill. And my grandma had a short afro for a long time. Like going into the 90s, she had a short afro. And grandma was healing. Now, although grandma was healing these people, Department of Children and Family came to my grandma and they was like, well, I don't know what it is, but we need to see that you're abusing your grandchildren. You're abusing your grandchildren. Somebody called and said you're abusing your grandchildren. And grandma like, I ain't do nothing. I ain't abusing shit. I love my grandbabies and they mama ain't do shit. I help her get the fuck out of here, you villains. And they just kept on fucking with grandma like she was abusing kids. So grandma got mad and grandma shot at 2 of them. And back in the day, that shit was okay in the 90s. You could bust out a bit. Early 90s, and police wouldn't do nothing if it ain't hit. But now that shit is different. Man, grandma tried to save Mo, and grandma just stopped. She said, I can't fight this battle. And grandma just stopped. So after those little 7 or 8 dogs she had shipped back, she saved those kids in her mind. I don't know who the kids was. So grandma went to telling us the history of the Cabbage Patch dog. And telling us the history of the Cabbage Patch dog was the whole simple fact of the matter that, and this is government shit, man, so this is alleged and all that shit though. So telling us the history of the Cabbage Patch dog, the government would go to South America, Russia, Ukraine, all these foreign ass countries, right? And they would have these women get pregnant. And soon as the women would give birth, they would take the baby right out the mama womb. And keep in mind, this is in the 1930s, 40s, and 50s. And grandma was telling me this. They would take the babies out of the mama's womb and they would raise them in incubators. And when they raised them in incubators, they would grow the kid. They would feed the kid through drops and shit and IV drips, and the kid would just grow in an incubator. So now, when it came down to getting the labor force or workforce, you had a bunch of wayward orphan kids that was 100% then wasn't owned by nobody. And so these kids didn't have a parent. So this is why, she say, this is why child labor was so big back in the early 30s all the way up to, 1945 when the war started and ended, World War II. And notice in all the movies, she used to always notice in all the movies, when it comes to England and American technology during the steam pump, when the industrial age took off here, Carnegie's and all them shit, that Rockefellers, Rothschild. Notice they were like, oh, the kid got dropped off at the orphanage. The kid is an orphan. The kid is an orphan. Now, it couldn't have been that many people, parents, dropping kids off down that time. And how come it was so many fucking orphans around by back in the day like that? And grandma say, that's the reason why Cabbage Patch Kids existed. Because when the kid died, they put him in the doll. And the doll could make more parents lose their kids. So the cycle can continue because the kids is tortured and worked and maimed in machinery and losing legs and arms and shit and sexual assault. So they would always give the baby one of the Cabbage Patch dolls to sleep with. And it was by design. So when the kid died or grew up and the doll was no longer, useful, the spirit of that kid would be attached to the one good thing it had in life, is that doll. And then they would take the doll and they would sell the doll. And now, if you all can remember, when you went and purchased a Cabbage Patch doll, the doll was an orphan. You had to adopt it. And when you adopt it, you had to choose which one you want, take responsibility for it, and you had to raise it. And back in the 90s and the 80s, there was several stories on the internet that Cabbage Patch dolls was causing kids to kill themselves, causing other people to do stuff. Hell, the Cabbage Patch doll was making parents fall down the stairs and trip, and the kids had to go to the orphanage. I can't make this shit up. Y'all can Google this shit yourself. Spooky shit, boy. So grandma said that was a battle she couldn't fight, and grandma left it alone, y'all. Now I'm gonna end that motherfucker right there, cause I ain't finna get copyright or sued. And keep in mind, all the Hasbro toy name companies, this shit is alleged. So y'all don't come from a little channel. I ain't got that many subscribers as of yet. Just come for me. It's all alleged, all right? So be cool, companies. It's just fairy tales. Hint, hint. Wink, wink. All right, everybody, I'm the Baron. Oh, I'm sorry. All right, everybody, I'm tight. Telling you guys, watch what you bring into your house, because some shit ain't nothing to play with. Take care, everybody. Stay safe.